Okay, this is Lyndon, and yeah, it's looking very good. Um, really haven't really found much to critique. Looks like you've beveled everything, and got all the major pieces there. Um, I might have these kind of sticking out a little bit more, kind of coming in a little lower down, but it's all right. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, this is good all around. Don't have much to add. I suppose, if you wanted to take it further, you could have added some of the little handles underneath, but um, yeah, this looks really good. This is Craig, and yeah, looking good. Might want to have like a tiny gap in these, so you can at least see the space there. So it's not adjacent. This looks good. One issue is this doesn't really rise up to meet the top of that. What I might do is it goes all the way around. Just select these guys along the top, and D for soft select, and grow that selection a bunch, and then just sort of pull this up into there. Maybe it could narrow a little bit too, I don't know. That looks a little better. Yeah, these pieces underneath look good. Probably didn't need to bevel that so much, but it's alright. Yeah, I think this looks good. Yeah, nice work. No major issues. This is Jeffrey, and yeah, looks like you're doing good. I like this paddle handle thing you did. That turned out really nicely. I think, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. I'm going to get rid of that smooth, Control A for attribute editor, select the polysmooth face, select, delete. Okay, so we're back to here. And the thing to do is to be careful about what edges you're selecting. So I'm gonna hit B to turn off soft select because I had it on. I'll select all of them at first, but then I'm gonna deselect some. So for example, I don't need these, so I'll control double click on these. Okay, and don't need any of these. I might just control marquee select straight through there, and probably those as well. Aha. I think I'm already finding the issue. Up there it is right there. So this is probably the reason that the bevel was messing up, is because you have these extra weird edges in there. So we could try to get rid of those with mesh cleanup. Mesh cleanup, and the options, and you'll probably see me use this a lot in the class. Lamina faces, non-manifold geometry, edges with 0 length, faces with 0 geometry, area apply. Be sure it doesn't mess up the surface at all. Still looks normal. Let's see if we still have those extra. No, I think we're all right. Whoops. Okay, so once again, but I'm pretty sure that was the issue. Control double click there. I noticed it was a problem because it wasn't letting me deselect it because there was 2 edges right on top of each other. I'll control marks key select those and see how it's letting me deselect these fine now. And I could probably lose these, right? Yeah, I think so. anything else not needed in the selection for the bevel? How about these? Yeah, probably those. Okay. You know, you can add segments if you want, and you know, just the fraction, you know, whatever you like. But yeah, it is working. You just had that extra bit in there. So, other than that, this looks really good. Maybe went a little further than I might have in that curve there, but looks good. Nice work. This is Flora, and yeah, I think this looks good. Something about that looks a little unfinished. That overall shape doesn't look quite hooked up. I think you missed maybe a little bit under here. And I showed this earlier. Oh yeah, and this is this isn't quite complete either. It's sort of a simplified version of that shape, but you're going to want to get it to meet that. I might right mouse click, edge, double click, B for soft select, hold down B, click and drag, and make a nice good size selection, and then just move that up so it intersects that, and so it looks more like it's supporting the chair. But yeah, that's a little unfinished. You could go back to the lesson for that. You could bevel these edges. I showed that just in the very previous video, so you can refer to that. Just so I'm not doing two things in a row. And yeah, some of the details missing here. So I think you've gotten pretty far actually, but it's a little unfinished. And you know, I know this was a particularly tricky shape, so you might want to go back over that one and finish that up. And yeah, it looks like somehow this didn't quite get connected to there. Yeah, so there's more to do, but what you have, you know, if you look at it from here, it looks pretty good. So yeah, it just needs those last details. All right, so this is Josh, and good on you for going ahead and doing your own chair like that. I think that the first thing I'm checking is proportions, and to me it looks too wide compared to the height and sort of the size of these things. I like that you've done this curl in the back, although I didn't. Is that in the reference? It's not in the reference, but it looks cool. And I think you've done a good job with these kind of seams. They look good. I think this is pointed a little bit more vertically. I like these rounded, the way you've done these rounded legs. That worked out really well, although they look a bit thicker to me. I think they get a little bit too narrow towards the end. And these kind of look a little skimpy and thin as well. One trick I can show you, there's probably some other way of doing this, but if you select the vertices of these and then W for move tool, and then hold down W and click, and you'll get this marking menu, and then choose axis, and then choose normal, and then pull out on this end, and you can sort of, oh, it's being funny because of soft select maybe. Whoa! Those are thicker. Okay. I'm undoing. I don't know why it's acting slow. Is there like a bunch of history on these? Maybe it's yeah, I might have to delete history before trying to do that. Obviously that's too thick too, but well, it's not that far off. But anyways, it's a way to make things a little thicker is the whole point to that. Because it kind of, the normal direction is the direction away from the surface at that point. That is to say, perpendicular to the surface at that point. So it kind of, if it's moving away from the surface at that point, it makes things thicker. So it's a nice trick to do that. But yeah, definitely too wide. These could use some work. I think they're a little it's almost too rounded on the side. It's a little sort of flatter, but it was thicker than you had it. Yeah, and the narrower thing. I think when I look at these, I think you could even go kind of fatter on your sort of bulges here. Although, yeah, you sort of don't have a line to do that. I might Control Shift X. Ooh, it looks like you took it out. Like you used to have one there, and now it's gone. See how there's this whole set of extra vertices along here? Looks like there used to be. It looks like you went through and you deleted that edge without deleting the vertices. And I'll show you what happens if I take an edge. Yeah, that's kind of a mess. Oh, there's a lot of those. So yeah, you went through and deleted those edges, but then you didn't delete the vertices. So if I delete an edge like this, if I just select it and hit delete, what you'll tend to find, see how it left all those vertices down the middle? Just like it did when you deleted the ones going across that way. I'm going to undo. Now, instead of that, I'm going to do Shift right mouse click, delete edge. And then with this one weird example, I don't know why that one's there. See, it got rid of those verts in the middle at the same time. So if you delete an edge like that, or an edge loop, make sure you use the delete edge command rather than just hitting delete, because then it doesn't get rid of the vertices and you end up with sort of a messy surface like this. So you can still, go ahead and get rid of those. It's just a pain to select it. But yeah, I can see I've got those, and then can delete that. And then now that that's cleaned up, I can put this back in. And if I wanted that to be a little fatter at that point, maybe I'll just R for scale and scale that out a bit. And imagine doing that to all of them, and I think you'd get. I'm just switching between 1 and 3. I think if you did that to all of them, you get a nicer shape that feels more like that. Maybe even push the creases in more. Or better yet, what you can do, which will help, see when you hit 3 for smooth preview, it kind of spreads things out. So you could, if you wanted a kind of a tighter crease, you could take this, shift right mouse click, slide edge, and kind of doesn't want to go down. Come on, buddy. Why doesn't it want to go down? That's weird. Anyway, edge slide's failing me. Oh, it must already be on top of the other one. Is that the problem? No? Oh yeah, I put it all the way on top of there. That's why, which you don't really want to do. But making it tighter. Oh yeah, that one's on top of there too. So, but anyways, yeah, don't put them right on top of each other. But if they're close, you'll get more of a seam. All right, but yeah, good work on this. Okay, this is Gwendolyn, and yeah, looking good. These somehow don't look fitted on. Maybe you can kind of close some of those gaps a little bit. Yeah, this looks good. You got the bevel there. These round. Yeah, there's not much to critique on this. It looks pretty clean. There's, if you want to add extra, there's those kind of adjustment paddles you could add. But I think you've got all the basics looking really good. So nice work on that. Okay, this is Hannah, and yeah, another one looking really good. Very clean job here. I'm hard pressed to find any issues with this. A little wobble on the space here. You could try to straighten that out just a touch. Get rid of this gap you've got between the bottom of the chair and that edge. go to the right view and zoom in here and vertex, and then I'll just control spacebar will remove and add back in your interface. And just marquee select these guys. Okay. Whoops. And W, let's just, I'm holding down W and going back to object mode. And then B for soft select, and that looks good. If you hold down B and drag from left to right, you can adjust the area. And then I'm just going to scooch that up so that it intersects that, so it looks like it's supporting it. But yeah, can't find really anything else to comment on. Looks good. This came in green. It's usually if it's green like this, it's sort of missing its material. So I'm just going to select all those surfaces, right mouse click, assign existing material, Lambert. That's probably the problem. Assign new material, Lambert. Okay. I don't know, something got messed up about your original Lambert, maybe it got deleted. Alright, it looks like we're missing a lot of pieces here. I don't have a snapshot of it, so I don't know if it somehow got corrupted or something, and then they disappeared, or we do a display show all. No layers in the channel box. I can try reopening it. Yeah, they're gone right when I open it, so it looks like you're missing a bunch of stuff. So yeah, the big thing is to get that all built, obviously, but everything else is looking alright, so good work on that. We keep going. Okay, this is Catherine, and yeah, I mean, I think what you've got looks good. It's just a question of adding in the rest of that detail, sort of the bevels on this and the other detail on this, and you know, some of those support things coming down, pieces of metal. Yeah, I can't really find too much to adjust on this. I'm not sure why that's. Usually has something to do with the normals, that it's doing that weird shading. But yeah, you're missing a bunch of detail underneath, like the board on the bottom and those little boxes and the other connecting stuff. So yeah, I think the main thing is to add in the rest of that detail. But besides that, you've done good work. This piece isn't beveled, but you have all these extra edges here, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to try getting rid of these. It's not letting me. I'll deal with that in a second. So shift right mouse click, delete edge, and if I take this face and control right mouse click, not shift but control right mouse click, I can say two edges, and it selects that edge. And let's try to delete those. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. Yep. And it doesn't want me to pick that edge now. So select that and then deselect these. Alright, is it going to let me bevel? Nope. So yeah, I guess that's, I think what we did was take the face and extrude it in a little bit towards itself to give you that extra edge like you had. Then Control Shift X for this one. And then it should let me bevel, right? Shift right mouse click, bevel edge. No. I wonder why. Slide edge. Give it a little more room this way, and control right mouse click, two edges. I don't think it's going to let me slide edge here. Shift right mouse click, slide edge. No, just only out, not in. Not that. This. Just make that bigger. Let's see, any luck with the bevel now? Oh, it's not even. Maybe it needs those extra edges. Aha. Is this the problem? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some problem with the surface. So I'm going to select that. That's probably what was going on all along. So to fix that, I'm going to select the surface, mesh cleanup with following options, which are lamina faces, non-manifold geometry, edges with 0 length, faces with 0 geometry, layer clean up. Okay, it is going around all the way around now, and I'm not getting any of that weirdness. So now bevel, no. What is the problem? There's something. Sure looks kind of clean. Well, I could do this, Control Shift X, and kind of put one on either side here, and then right mouse click, double click on the edge, Control right mouse click, two vertices, or and then W for move, and then hold down the W key and go to axis, and then normal, and then just adjust this slightly, this N. Should move it inwards, but I guess maybe that doesn't work as well on a corner. But it kind of works. Like maybe I can slide this other edge down, shift right mouse click, slide edge. Oops. Well, that wasn't the most wonderful thing ever, but at least we got it going. Yeah, apart from that, this is looking really good. Okay, this is Taylor, and not sure why we're using nerves here. I would use a polycylinder instead. Yeah, because you got that hollow top in there, and yeah, you'll want to kind of bevel that edge so it's not sharp, I think. This kind of faceted thing here, if you're getting that, if you sort of take these edges and shift right mouse click, soften, and then it'll look smoother. I think I didn't do some down there, and that's why. Although it looks like there's something really wrong here. Yeah, I don't know. Something got messed up there. It looks like there's a hole in it. So I might rework that piece. These pieces look good. That looks good. Got the bevel on that. Good. These look rounded, usable. So, yeah. Overall good. I think this has got some glitchiness to it, but for the most part, it looks pretty good.